beautiful internet people, it's Jo again, and today we're talking the facts. Things I've learned, what my resources are, what are the apps I use. You've asked, I'm answering. So, first things first, alternate day fasting is what we're here to talk about. I have been doing it for a little over 3 weeks now. I'm coming up on my 4th week. I have had a lot of success with it so far. Minor challenges, but nothing really problematic. It's been working really, really well for me. So here's what I know. I discovered it from a YouTuber named Rachel Sharp. She had a video that came up on my YouTube page called My Experience with Intermittent Alternate Day Fasting. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of intermittent fasting. 16/8 is a very common one. I actually dipped my toe in that water and it just wasn't for me. And I don't really, it's kind of similar to what I do naturally and it didn't do anything for me really. And the minute I tried to do it on purpose, it was a problem. So I watched her video and was very inspired. I took her recommendation, and some of the first things I did was go online and look up a TDEE calculator and a BMR calculator. Now, a TDEE is total daily energy expenditure, and BMR is your basal metabolic rate. So basically, basal metabolic rate is the minimum you need to maintain yourself if you didn't move a muscle all day, if you just laid in bed, comatose, and never moved. This is how many calories your body is looking for. And then your TDEE is a little bit more important. That is based on age, current weight, and your activity level. So I'm actually moderately active. I exercise quite a few times a week. I try to get up and move around. I have a desk job, but only part-time of that. And then the rest of the time, I'm able to move more normally. So I'm not just sitting at a sedentary job. And that means I burn more calories on any given day naturally. So I will link both of those calculators below, and I'll give you a look right here about what they are. So basically, I take those two numbers and I split the difference and I look for something a little bit in the middle. For me, at this point, it's been 3 weeks. I've lost some weight, so periodically you go through and you look at your number again. But I shoot for about 2,000 calories a day on my food days. If I go a little over, it's not a big deal. It's actually sometimes harder for me to get enough calories because I've been fasting so long, I'm trying to talk myself into eating. I don't know what I want. You know how it is. You get indecisive about food and then you struggle to get to your calories. I do start my day with a couple of boiled eggs, the plainest, no nothing on them, no anything. I have found that I need really plain food to start or I get an upset stomach. I was having like cereal with milk and that was not for me. That did not work. Then I wait about an hour and then I go for more substantial food. And I found that the bigger I have lunch, the better chance I have of getting to my calorie intake for the day without having to resort to cookies or junk food. I will link Rachel's page below. I also have 2 different other YouTubers that I watch the most, which give me a lot of helpful information about what's happening with my body, what's not happening with my body. For example, I've been cold lately, very cold, unusually cold for the spring. It's breezy here, but even then, I'm struggling to stay warm. And apparently that is actually a side effect of the fasting, as my body is putting all this energy into my core and burning fat. And also, I guess, transitioning my adipose white fat into adipose brown fat, which is a healthier type of fat. But the transition, it burns calories in a way, and it takes up energy, which makes you get cold in some way. I don't explain it well, sorry. I do take part of my vitamins, even on fasting days. I get up and take my caffeine pill because I don't make coffee and I don't drink black coffee anyway. And I'm too lazy to make coffee. It's one of the reasons drinking the warm water all through the day has been a problem for me. I'm too lazy to heat the water up. It's sad. I have been drinking some Earl Grey black tea on my fasting days, and that's completely okay. If you're going to have an herbal tea, watch out which ones. Some of them have a lot of fruit and things in them, and that can throw you out of the fast because it is a caloric intake. No sweeteners. If some people are okay with stevia, I prefer just nothing at all. I'm an all or nothing person, and that includes I'll drink plain black tea before I'll use a sweetener that isn't something I would have normally used anyway. So, obvious disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am going off of Googling and YouTubers, and I have no underlying medical issues that would give me pause for trying something like this. If you are diabetic, if you have high blood pressure, if you have any other health issues that you take medicine for or are worried about, you should definitely talk to your doctor about alternate day fasting before you try it. It's actually got a lot of history behind it, and I think a lot of doctors are actually completely okay with it, but not everybody is ready for that. It's definitely an extreme thing for the wrong person. For me, it was the right one at the right time. I've looked for years for the right health lifestyle change that was going to make a difference for me, and I think I finally found the right one. It has moments where it's challenging, but for the most part, I mean, being cold is hard for me. I like to be warm. I am not active in the cold season, so trying to keep my activity levels is challenging. But this was the right one for me. You have to find the right one for you. There are a lot of different variations of alternate day fasting. There's OMAD, which is one meal a day. There's 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours and then you have an 8-hour food window. I take it to the next level, and then I have also tried a 2-day fast, and that's something that's good to do periodically because there are a lot of health benefits to the longer fast, up to 72 hours. I went to 62 hours. I do believe next time I try it, I'm probably going to have 2 food days in a row as well, because after the fast day, then I had a food day, and the next fast day, I was so hungry. I was starving all day long. It was probably the hardest fasting day I've had so far, and I think it's because I should have taken 2 food days. I have also, on my food day, added fiber supplements. I was finding that my stomach is really not ready to be where I need it to be for my digestive health without a little bit extra fiber. I will link below a couple of other YouTubers that I watch a lot of their videos and get a lot of educational information from. Thomas DeLauer and Fledge Fitness have both been really good resources for benefits and the challenges and helpful suggestions and what are the medical things that are happening inside of me and why they're good and why they might be bad. And it's really worked well for me to see those 3 YouTubers the most. And there'll be a lot of links in the bottom of this video because there's a lot of useful information that I've gathered, and it's all in one place if that'll help you. A lot of people have asked, so I'm providing. Now, if you're also into doing keto, Thomas DeLauer is definitely a really good one to look at. He's got a lot of good information, and he definitely does keto a lot as well. His videos don't make you feel like you have to do keto, but he does have a lot of useful information for the keto people as well. I have also been asked about which apps I'm using, and that mostly comes down to MyFitnessPal, which is the food app I use. It does communicate to a lot of fitness wristband trackers, so you can use your pedometers with it. I actually have another pedometer I have on my phone because I don't have one of those wristbands yet. I intend to get a Fitbit, but I just haven't found the one I want for the right price yet. I also use a life fasting tracker. That one, it just mainly helps me keep track of my fasting hours. If I want to know how many hours I have left to go, where I stand approximately, that's the one that tells me when I've reached the autophagy phase, when I'm in ketosis, when I'm in heavy ketosis. And on my more extended fasts, it also let me know when I was reaching a more insulin resistant stage and when I was at peak HGH phase, where my human growth hormones that I naturally produce were apparently producing 5 times their normal amount because they weren't busy doing other things. Autophagy also is the one where your cells are eating each other, basically. The old, weak, misfolded proteins and the things that your body has held on to because it had a reason, it didn't have a reason not to. It's burning through all of that and renewing itself in a better way. And of course, the ketosis is heavily part of a fat burning stage. I don't do a keto diet, but your body produces ketones whether you're doing keto or not. When you're not eating food at all, your body produces more. I really hope this information has helped you. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Feel free to subscribe. Push the notification bell if you want to know how it keeps going. I will let you know. I'm going to be posting at least once a week, often more, about either the alternate day fasting, ADF, or things that are going on in my life because I do DIY a lot. If you have any other questions, feel free to make a comment below. And have a beautiful, beautiful day. So I will link below a couple of other YouTubers that I talked to, with no sweetener. His videos are very useful even if you don't do keto, though. It's not... Stop bouncing.